Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
I'm going to ask you a question today, Mr. Magazine.
All right.
And I want to know your opinion.
Okay.
This is something that not your friend Orlando, but your friend Mike from Pure Hustle Podcast says all the time. He's talking about that you don't want to hoard things and that it doesn't matter what you pay for something as far as when you're out there and you see something cool, you pick it up in a collection. It doesn't matter whether you pay $5 or $500 for it if you're going to keep it. His theory, and I guess he picked this up from somebody else, is say you paid $50 for something or other, and you find out it's worth $500.
Okay.
Would you pay $500 for it? And if so, you keep it. If not, you sell it. What are your thoughts of that theory? So in other words, you buy a collection of stuff at $1 a piece and you go, oh, this is pretty cool. I'll just keep it. I've only got $1 into it. That if it's a $100 item, would you pay $100 for it? And if you wouldn't pay $100, then you should sell it. What are your thoughts on that?
So am I paying $100, which is full price on it?
No. In your head.
Okay.
In your head, would you pay $100 for it?
So the only thing I'm attached to is things I collect. Everything else I could care less about. Like I said, if I picked up another Will Chamberlain rookie, as great as it is, I could care less about it because I don't collect that. I don't collect cards. So certain things I could care less about. If I can make money on it, I'm selling it. I'm not holding on to it. I'm not hoarding anything. The only way I would hoard certain things is if, for example, when I picked up that big collection with the Marilyn Monroe magazines, the old Elvises and all the Beatles stuff, well, at the time I didn't have a good lister for it. So I don't want to just say, oh, wow, I can make a lot of money. I'm just going to get this on and get my money back. Well, I waited. And then my niece came back, who's a really good lister. Now she's listening to stuff. It's getting put on with good listings. So certain things I will hold back. Or if it's something like, if I pick up a great basketball collection, but it's baseball season, I may hold back on that and wait till prime time when it's basketball season. But for the most part, if I got $1 or $100 into something and it's worth, $200, whatever it's worth, I'm selling it regardless. I'm not keeping it because I don't have $1 into it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
That's me.
Yeah, we're completely different then, because if it's cool, I'll keep it even if I don't necessarily collect it.
Right, but are they collectors and that's why they're keeping it, or just because they have not a lot of money into it, they're keeping it?
Because it's kind of neat and they don't have a lot of money into it.
Yeah, so, like I said, it's kind of the same thing. If I collect it and I pay cheap, I'm keeping it. If I don't care about it, it's gone.
Yeah, see, and there will be things that I don't particularly care about, but it's pretty neat, and it's oh, this is kind of an interesting looking item. I've only got $1 into it. I will save it, even though it isn't something that I necessarily collect.
Yeah.
Even if it's worth $100. And I guess my thought is, I know a lot of times they'll deal in stuff like, especially your buddy Orlando, will deal in stuff like clothing, things like that, where trends come in. So, and he deals a lot with toys, but newer toys a lot of times. Where again, trends come in.
Yeah.
So, it's a $100 toy and you pay $5 for it. Well, you better sell it because it might be a $50 toy next month.
Well, just like for sports cards. So say you had a box of cards, you open up a Joe Burrow signed rookie card worth $800.
Oh, I would sell it in 1 second.
Yeah,
yes.
And you got nothing into the pack. Of course. Well, and it's football season and he's hot, so you got to unload it. You know what I mean?
Right, that's because I don't care about that.
Right, yeah.
But if I got into some foreign language magazine that just has a really, really cool cover on it, well, I don't collect that.
Right.
But I look at it and go, this is a really cool looking cover.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it. I got $2 into it. Who cares?
Yeah, back in the day, I was collecting Emmitt Smith, Mickey Mantle cards. So say a Mickey Mantle second-year Bowman high grade comes in. I don't have any anymore. Let's say you have it already and don't need it. The only one I would really want to keep would be the 52 tops. It's something I've always wanted, so that would be like my Amazing Fantasy 15. But say a high-grade Mantle came in and it's $30,000 or whatever, I would sell it and then buy something for my collection that I care more about. So if there's a Spider-Man comic or a Venom one, the black version that's $10,000, I would sell that card or something else and buy something I really collect. Because what am I going to do with something in my collection that has no part in my collection?
Well,
I'm different than you. I'm Batman, Spider-Man, Star Wars, that's it. But yours extends through every Overstreet and every Beckett magazine, every item in there. But enough about that.
I don't think those magazines I just mentioned were in either of those, and I still would keep them.
Sure.
See, and I guess my way of looking at it is the things that I'm buying in those instances they're worth what they're worth. They're going to be worth what they're worth 5 years from now. They're going to be worth what they're worth 20 years from now.
Yeah.
And it's not like I have a paucity of items to list.
Well, it's not an investment either. We're like, you picked up a $400 item for $10, and you think it's potentially going to go up to $4,000.
Right. In that case,
a lot of stuff we deal in, it really just happens with sports cards. Rarely a comic would go up that high for short term or anything like that. So.
Right. Yeah. And so I would keep it because if I've got 50,000 items to list, do I have to list this one magazine that's got a really cool cover in it? Mm-hmm. Or can I put that away in the collectibles room and find something else to list? Sure. Now, when I get those 50,000 items listed and I'm down to nothing left to list, well, yes, then of course I would list that. Sure. So I guess I would disagree with them because of where my situation is. I don't have to sell anything I got. Now, obviously, if it's worth $5,000 and I pick it up for $300 and it isn't something I collect, I'm going to sell it for the $5,000, obviously, because I don't collect it. But if I could pick up a $5,000 comic book for $300, I would probably be collecting something like that anyway. So that would get put away in my collection. I mean, it's an interesting theory and an interesting thought experiment. But the other thing too is they don't tend to carry the unlisted inventory numbers that you or I have either. Yeah. So, I mean, if I brought in a box of good stuff to you and sold it to you, there's always a chance it could just get stuck in a corner and forgot to be listed anyway because 3 other collections came in. Right, exactly. So it isn't like you're necessarily saving it because, oh my goodness, it's just other things come in because you and I are always wheeling, dealing, always getting things in. And again, if I've got 50,000 unlisted items, you got to have close to 1 million unlisted items. Really, I mean, honestly,
hundreds of thousands for sure. Yeah.
Well, if I'm at 50,000,
I got to be 5 to 10 times.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So kind of comment down below on your thought about that. And again, the theory is doesn't matter what you paid for it, it's what you can sell it for. And would you pay that selling price for it? If yes, then keep it. If not, sell it. And I realize, again, a lot of it depends upon your own situation. And I would, much as Mr. Magazine said, I would take things that you collect off the table. Because obviously in that case, you would pay $100 for it. Or maybe you wouldn't.
Well, and timing too. Say you're one of the eBay complainers where, hey, sales are not good right now, and you need to make a big sale. This is your big sale. You've got to do it. Hey, I got rent. I got this. I got that. Right. I got another collection that I don't want to borrow money or take money on my 401k for this $10,000 collection. I could sell this for $5,000, whatever. Make my life a little easier.
Well, I'm going to give you an example and a question for what I should do.
Okay.
And I do not know the value of this off the top of my head. But I'm at a sale, and I find an Action Comics number 2.
Ooh.
Number 2. Mm-hmm. So obviously a number 1 I would probably save. Yeah. It's a number 2. Yeah. I don't collect it. I pay $5 for it. In condition, it's a $5,000 comic. Yeah. I have no idea, but it's a $5,000 comic.
More than that, even in poor. Probably 25 to 50,000 in poor condition.
But okay, so we'll just say it's a $5,000 comic. Yeah. Now, it is not something that I collect, but I got $5 into it. Should I keep it in that instance, or should I sell it?
Again, put yourself in my shoes. What I would do.
You have a business. You have a business. It's a different story.
Get that. No, but again, if it's something, say that Venom comic I want, it's $5,000 to $10,000. It's all up and down all the time. I really want that for my collection. I could care less about the Superman. I sell the Superman, buy the Venom one. I'm happy. So there's got to be something that you wanted at Heritage, or it's not coming down in price. It's $5,000. Well, if I see it someday, I'll pick it up. Well, you're 55 years old. You haven't seen it. You haven't picked it up, but you really want it. Bye Superman, and then you get that. See, really, you got to do that.
And I probably wouldn't. I probably would keep the Action and go, oh, that's cool. I only have $5 into it.
But then if you sell it and get the other $5,000 item that's more in your collection, makes more sense, you still have the same amount into that.
Yeah, but what happens when I find it? We'll just whatever that book is, mystery book number 4. What happens when I find that mystery book number 4 at a sale the following week for $5? And then I go,
Then you sell that and buy another thing that you want.
I've got to rebuy the Action number 2. That's a lot of work, but I just had the Action number 2 in the first place.
You got to pay the big on both ends.
All right. Well, do hit the like button if you could, but it is kind of an interesting thought experiment. So kind of wondering how you come down on that. And again, things for your own collection, we're going to leave that out because if you collect, you collect. But just cool looking things that, oh, that's pretty cool. I'll just keep that. Should you do it or not do it? Do you like their theory? Do you not like their theory? Let us know down below. Hit the like button, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.